Okay, hey everybody. Cesar Brooks here with hopefully the last attempt at doing this video because I tried at least 2 or 3 times earlier and they all got cut short either because of storage running low or just didn't have a lot of time to do it. But anyway, results, predictions for WrestleMania. Starting up with night one, had John Cena coming out as the host, welcoming everybody to the show. Then we'll kick things off with the Usos and LA Knight taking on Show Speed and the Vision, consisting of Austin Theory and Logan Paul, in which Knight and the Usos picked up the victory. Speed got betrayed by Logan. Logan got placed through an announce table by Speed, jumping off not the top rope, but the tippity top of the turnbuckle, which I could imagine hurt both of them crazily. And then that was just pretty much like a little tease of what was to come later with Jacob Fat 2 versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match, where basically WWE went like, okay, these guys are a bit too chaotic for just a standard match, even a cage match. So we'll just put him in a match where anything goes. Drew could have used the Claymore if he wanted to, but he didn't. Other than like the kick. And of course, tables got broken, chairs got dented, egos bruised, especially Drew's. All ending in Jacob Fatu hitting his moonsault through a table. 1, 2, 3, and until something else comes about, especially like after Fatu's attempts at challenging Roman Reigns. Drew might rear his head again, and they kickstart that whole thing over again. And then it was surprise time. Or not really a surprise if people are actually paying attention to rumors and stuff like that. But anyway, women's fatal 4-way tag team match for the tag team championships. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and what was supposed to be Nikki and Brie Bella, that later got revealed to be, because Nikki's injury, to be a returning Paige, who had her first Mania match since Mania 31, I think? Or was it 32? I can't remember. Either way, it's been a long time. Massive pop, almost like Stone Cold level pop. Of course, Paige and Brie got the win after a distraction by Nikki dragging Charlotte out of the ring. Alexa got up on the top rope looking for Twisted Bliss, but Paige got the knees up, and 1, 2, 3 after a rampage, and Brie and Paige are the new women's tag team champions for now. because I have a sinking feeling that when they inevitably lose those tag team championships, Nikki and Brie are gonna betray Paige, and she'll have to find a tag team partner in either AJ Lee or Rhea Ripley. Either one would be really cool. And speaking of AJ, her match is up next, defending her Intercontinental Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. And, of course, as you'd expect, especially with Jessica Carr as a referee, shenanigans were pretty much the focal point. Becky working on trying to expose the turnbuckles, bickering with Jessica, avoiding the Black Widow submission hold, and just using every dirty tactic that you can think of. And at times it looked like it wouldn't work, but then obviously it did. And your new reigning Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. And then it was Becky's other half, Seth Rollins, going against the career killer Gunther, in which, ironically enough, I was talking about Braun Breaker earlier in the night during the LA Knight Usos Vision fight, and then lo and behold, comes out, spears Seth, and pretty much just hand feeds him to Gunther. And then spears him again. Paul Heyman gives that nod of approval kind of thing. And then they go about their merry little way. And then it was Stephanie Vauquer defending her championship against Liv Morgan, who was debuting a new entrance song, which she wrote and performed, and terribly lip synced, by the way. You can see it in any of the replays, unless WWE edited it. Liv's lips not moving as the words went the right way, but that's not the point. Stephanie and Liv had a decent match. Definitely not as long as some of the other matches, or as short. But of course, shenanigans aplenty with Roxanne and Raquel, which led to Liv, Britney Spears impersonation and all, got the victory. And of course, Dirty Dom had to come out and celebrate before his big fight with the Demon. Then John Cena came out again, announced the attendance, which went up by 1 because of Bianca Belair announcing that she and Montez Ford are going to be having a little baby. And obviously, congratulations to Bianca and Tez. All the best wishes to their family. And hopefully the little one enters the world without any issue. And then it was night 1 main event. Randy Orton with Pat McAfee against Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Jelly Roll and McAfee instantly got involved. Tables got broken. Pat got stretchered out. And near the end of the fight, came back out with a referee's shirt after Charles Robinson got KO'd. Tried going for a fast count, but wasn't enough. And of course, Orton got peeved about that and turned his back on him. And honestly, Orton didn't need McAfee's help at all. Anyway, I mean, sure, it got in Cody's head and all that, but other than that, pointless. And this is coming from someone that isn't like the biggest, I guess, like, hater or anything like that of Pat McAfee. I find him entertaining at times, but other times he just can be a little overbearing. Then, of course, after Randy hit that RKO on McAfee, Cody capitalized, hit a crossroads, 1, 2, 3, still champion. And I bet Cody, after that, and even still kind of now, doesn't exactly feel like a winner or a champion. Because not only did Orton smack him in the back of the head with the championship, but hit him with a punt kick, which gave him quite the shiner. But anyway, that concluded night 1. And out of all my predictions, I got 1, 2 of them right. Which, honestly, out of all that, not too bad. Better than 1 or none. But then it was night 2. Kicking off with Obafemi against Brock Lesnar. In which was, as one would expect, a classic monster versus monster. Ends before it can barely even start. Almost like how Brock and Goldberg were years ago. And Brock not only lost to his handpicked opponent, but as of right now, has retired. Took his gloves and boots off, left him in the ring. Paul Heyman, who produced the match, was just in tears. And Brock even got emotional too. Which after that I was like, okay, something toughy up here. Either it's genuine, or we're all being played as fools, and eventually Gunther will get his way, and at SummerSlam, that would be the send-off for the Beast. Just fed as another victim to the overrated, not as good as he thinks he is, Gunther. But anyway, that's not the point. Then, chaos incarnate ensued. Multi-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Current champion Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rusev, J.D. McDonough, and Rey Mysterio. Now, given all those names, you would expect nothing less than a take your eyes off for even a second, you'll miss something important or spectacular type of thing. And Rey Mysterio, despite being slightly past his prime, or some might even say currently in his prime, gave honestly 100, if not even like 110%, if not more. And of course, Dragon Lee, JD, Rusev, Javon, and Penta, all pretty much just like, oh, if Ray can do it, I can do it too. And it honestly surprised me that even Rusev got as high risk as he did. Granted, it wasn't like as crazy as something like a Javon, but either way, it was still pretty neat to see. Just adding more to his legacy, his character, other than just being the stereotypical foreign heel who once upon a time had people eating everything he had to say, and even had a whole day named after him with Rusev Day. But Penta ended up taking the win, and so far, it seems like for Rey Mysterio, he's either retired or just taking some more time off. But no matter what, he earned it. For being an absolute legend in the business. And given more than anybody would even expect out of somebody at his age, size, and injury history. But anyway, it was then United States Championship title match next. Sami Zayn defending against Trick Williams. And not as many shenanigans as I would have expected, especially since Trick had Little Yachty out there with him, and he definitely could have gotten involved, kind of like how Travis Scott did during Cody and Cena last year. But I think they would be kind of learned better from that. But and of course, they had way too many interruptions in night one. Not to say that they didn't have any during night two, because we'll get into that. But in terms of this match, Zayn lost. Trick is the new champion. And then, earlier on in the night, during the kickoff, Adam Pearce found Dominic, informed him that not only will he be facing the Demon Finn Balor, even though the contract just said Finn Balor, it went from being a normal contest to a street fight, in which Dom was very pissed off about. No amount of trouble with Liv Morgan could fix. And that, I feel like, was ultimately his downfall. Because, granted, he did try multiple times that, well, obviously being dirty, but it wasn't enough to keep the demon down, which is definitely an improvement over what happened with him and Roman Reigns, or even that match with Edge in Hell in a Cell. But long story short, Balor beat Mysterio. And then, from one former Judgment Day member to another, it was Rhea Ripley against Jade Cargill. For the Women's Championship. And then, of course, some were in the middle of the match. At the end of it, Michin and B-Fab came out to help support Jade. And then, of course, to help even the odds, Io Sky came out to support Rhea, which was enough for Rhea to secure the victory and become champion. And then Cena came out again, announced the attendance for night 2 and total attendance. Night 2 had 55,255, while in total it was 106,072. Granted, I'm not sure if that's the highest WrestleMania of all time, but it's pretty solid. And I'm sure next year we'll probably try to top that, being in Saudi Arabia, with all the royalty and all that shit. But we'll just have to wait and see. And then, as Cena was about ready to wrap things up and go like, oh, this is all I got. See you next time. Miz and Kit Wilson came out, pretty much going like, oh, no. We're not getting robbed of not having a Mania moment. And then John's like, okay, you want a Mania moment? You got one. And then Danhausen came out. Bunch of Minihausens along with him. Wilson and the Minis got into a brawl. Miz kind of tried to avoid it, but eventually he got attacked by Danhausen, who hit him with a modified 5-knuckle shuffle. And of course, Cena was just laughing and living it up. Which then brought us to the main event. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, in a match where you almost would have expected some shenanigans, since Roman and the Usos kind of mended fences a bit, but none happened. Just a straightforward, semi-clean wrestling match between two absolute legends of their class. Which ultimately led to another chapter of the Roman Empire as Roman Reigns claims yet another championship. So, out of everything out of night 2, my predictions that I got right. 1, 2, 3. Got 3. So, one more than night one, which, again, not too shabby. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And for anyone wondering, what about Elimination Chamber? Because, yes, I did miss out on making the predictions video, or maybe I did the predictions video. I can't remember. I can't remember. But I know I didn't do anything for like results or review, and I'm sorry for that. But I just, between everything going on, couldn't fit the time in for that. But I do have the notes written down, and I'm sure there's plenty of other videos you can go to see what happened, and most of it got covered at WrestleMania anyway. So yeah. Anyway, that's WrestleMania all wrapped up for another year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Or if you've been around the channel and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Leave a comment if you got any. Also put in the comments any ideas of something you want to see me do in the future. And until then, this is Isaac Brooks, signing off. Bye-bye.